Podcast.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, joined as always by my co-pilot, Mr. Producer Paul. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a nice day. It's finally cooler weather, so I'm
Oh,
in my element, or getting in my element at least.
are you decorating yet? Have you?
Oh, we stay decorated year round. I just make it different variations of horror. So we do like a horror Christmas and a horror 4th of July. So
All right. Well, I'll tell you, listen, if it works for you, you keep it going. That's what it's all about.
Scares the neighbors.
You know what? Fuck, everybody, come on. Go decorate. You want to decorate for Halloween? Do it. Get there, put them up, have some fun, get kooky, take them down by November 1st. Don't screw around. Seriously, it's over. Don't be Paul. Paul's one of a kind. Then turkey. Fair. Well, guys, this is our show, the Scene Snobs Podcast. Thank you guys for watching live or watching later or listening. We truly appreciate it. You can catch us on all podcast platforms, and we love you for it. I want to talk to you guys a little bit tonight about a city of mine that clearly means quite a bit to me. Not one I've lived in, but it's my name. Manhattan.
Ooh, okay.
New York City. Well, Manhattan's my name, but New York City we're going to talk about in a whole. Because I do have an affinity for New York City. I love New York City. It's the greatest city in the world. I'm going to say it. I don't care what anybody says. Keep Charlotte out of your mouth.
It ain't going to be Charlotte.
No, actually, I don't know why I would go with Charlotte for you, because you've been like everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, I got to ask, what to you, what's the greatest city?
Boston, Massachusetts, hands down.
Boston is a great city. As a Yankees fan, I will still say it. Boston is a great city. All right. I got no disrespect for them, but I still think New York City is the greatest city in the world. If you can't find it there, you can't find it anywhere. It's true. It's true. And Beantown, I'd put it at a close second. You know, Boston, it's a wonderful city. I'm sure Dan is like sitting out there listening to this at some point saying, how dare you not mention Detroit? But we're not. And we're celebrating New York City. And we're celebrating New York City because we love the city, and there's a lot of great things that the city has had to offer over the years, especially the movies. We love it. But
too many.
tomorrow, of course, is the 23rd anniversary of 9/11. And you know, I didn't want to do something solely based around that. I wanted to celebrate New York City, and that's why we're going to talk about Broadway show adaptations into movies. You know, some of our favorites. We're going to do our top 5 New York City movies. I had so many parameters on mine, and I realize now, if this show goes on forever, right? We can do top 5 New York City movies every year.
Yeah.
With a different parameter. There's so many. I'm like racing in my mind, like, oh my god. And I'll mention my parameter when we get to it. But yeah, it just is. There's so many movies, and I love especially 70s and 80s New York City.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it was like everything that was wrong and like still so fascinating about how a city could work the way it did. Whew. I'll watch every documentary. I watch Hill Street Blues all day long, baby. You know. Although, is that Baltimore? Did I get that wrong? Did I celebrate New York City wrong?
I wasn't going to say anything to begin with, but then I was like, well, you admitted it, so I think it might be Baltimore.
I'm not. Listen, I know Homicide was Baltimore. Oh, I guess it was Chicago.
Oh,
sorry, we're both wrong. Oh, what did Dan say? Okay. Oh, what's up? What is up? What's going on? Thank you for joining in. James, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? There he is. Bull Durham over here. How do you
Yeah.
not go by that? How do you not? And you're from Carolina. All right. Listen, ladies. I don't know if he's single or not, but I'm going to talk about him. Okay, here we go. Well, Brian, how would you feel about a love connection episode of the Scene Snobs Podcast?
Do a blind state style.
We'll be Chuck Woolery. And we'll just have a bunch of single gentlemen come on and talk about themselves. And then like any ladies that like them can give their Twitter or Instagrams or whatever, and who knows. And how's it going to you, sir? Wait, what's wrong? St. Louis, Missouri is not better than New York City. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. But it's not better than New York City. Why are you grinning, you son of a gun? You said Boston.
I did. I know.
What happened?
I couldn't stay. I don't know. It's just because New York City, they always stuck us there at the fucking circus at the worst time of the year. So we'd be there like fucking.
You wouldn't have had a circus if it wasn't for there.
January through like almost March, we would be there. So it'd be the coldest time of the year. So it's just miserable. It's windy as a motherfucker. Sorry, it's just windy as shit through there. And just cold. It was just miserable. And then traffic is bullshit, man. Loading in, loading out the train anywhere else in the USA might take 12 hours. It took 32 hours straight. That's fucking ridiculous just because traffic's bullshit.
Let me tell you something. You saw the wrong side of New York City.
That was Brooklyn. That's a good side. Right there at the Barclays Center.
No, I don't cleaned up. I don't mean that. I mean real New York City, where the New Yorkers are supposed to be. You can do it.
No, there are no New Yorkers in New York. They're just visitors that stayed too long.
Well, you're a dick.
It sounded,
just like a Broadway show. I love that city. You leave it alone. That's my fucking name, you dick.
I like your name. I didn't say Manhattan.
You meant it. You meant it. You were like the part with the park. Oh, fuck. I love that city, dude. I miss Dwayne Reed. All right, here we go.
If I can, go ahead.
Oh yeah. What you got?
I was just gonna say a quick sidebar. He is one of our fans, and he's a great guy as well. It's Matthew Branch's birthday today, so just want to say happy birthday to you, Matt.
Hey, happy birthday, buddy.
39. We got to go all out next year for 40.
Close your ears. Close your ears. I'm gonna whisper a secret word to Matt. I'm going to give him a special message. And if he actually watches this show, Bryant, don't tell him. Then he'll know and he can message me. And the secret message is, Paul's a little fucker. So message me what I just said. And I'll know that you listen to this show.
And I will quickly realize he really doesn't listen to the show.
Son of a bitch. All good. Brian, thank you, sir. His lips are sealed. So, all right, let's talk about. So, circus is a show. It is the greatest show, some would say, on earth.
It was.
It was special. And honestly, after you talked about the elephants and how the animals were treated, I'm really pissed. I'm like, what bureaucracy ruined this? What senator or something said, caught wind from somebody who was like, they're zapping the elephants. And then they took it too far and now we got no circus. Because I will tell you that before I heard about that, like, was it possible based on movies to have a really bad guy maybe in charge of the animals? Sure. If you live in the movie world. I don't know if that's true in real life. There's probably HR. The animals can go. Paul can explain that. I don't know. No, seriously, like ever since you said that, I'm like pissed because I always wanted to like take my kids to the circus.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll never really get that chance. And like I don't want to put down any of the independent circuses, which I will still bring them to when they're around. But I think we know what circus I want to go to. One of two.
Yeah. Right.
So,
yeah. Boo.
So, and I don't mean to upset you. I know it's a sore subject. I really don't.
Yeah, it just sucks because you're right. I mean, even growing up, like it was a staple for me almost every other year at least to go check it out, or watch the elephant walk where they park the train and the elephants would walk from there to the Coliseum. People are lined up and it's just a lot of fun. And I don't know, it just sounds insane now. Like, looking back how long it's been, it's like, oh wow, like no one is gonna see an elephant walk like that ever again.
I know.
Forever.
Oh, and the motorcycles in the cage.
Yeah.
Oh man, the horses. I loved when the horses come around. They'd be like the
Cossacks. Yeah, they were cool. I actually one of the Cossacks just messaged me the other day because he's training his son. His son's about 8 years old now, and he's starting to ride a horse, not crawling underneath and everything yet. But he's
That's
cool. He
awesome.
practices English with me, and it's quite hilarious. I love his English.
So you guys still remain
so
like
Russian.
you really remain like really close, huh? Like some of you?
I'd say I probably have a solid group of like 8 people I still probably weekly talk to from the circus.
Nice.
Which I think is a solid amount. You wish it was more, but hey, I understand life happens, and I'm not keeping up with them either. So, two-way street.
Well, have you guys ever thought about maybe putting together like a reunion?
I'd love to, but everyone's just all over the world. It's just not feasible price-wise to find a time where everyone could afford to do it, and then everyone could get visas at the same time, and it's probably not.
Okay, let's do a virtual reunion. Let's do it. Let's get all of you guys together.
Oh, that might be too interesting. You're going to hear too many stories about me.
Oh, that's not live. I'm talking. I just want to be a part of it.
Oh.
Like, because that was the thing. Like, I've always been fascinated with your story and the idea of running away to the circus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've said that to myself. I was like, man, I should just run away. I should just run away and see if I could join the circus. Be a part of it. And then I'd see some movie. And like somebody bad at the circus is like bad kids. So I'm like, no, can't do that. So like always keeping me at bay from escaping. And then I meet you and you tell me, and I'm like, what? It's like, you did the thing I wanted to do. Tell me everything. And your stories are fascinating for real. I love listening to those. So if you're ever getting emotional, you're like, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Just say it, and I'll stop. But I'll keep going because I love it.
Hell yeah, dude. I love talking about it.
Sweet, I fucking do too, man. It's so good. We know we're not going to talk about tonight during Broadway adaptations.
Broadway adaptation
is The Sound of Music.
Oh, I didn't. I purposely did not, just because I wasn't trying to piss you off tonight. I made sure to.
I was like, let me ride the high a little bit, man. I was like, I'm ready to chill. I had PT today. I'm tired. And then I looked over at my list and I'm like, fuck, The Sound of Music was a musical. And here's, you want to hear a funny story? I was telling Mary about this the other day. We're getting way off topic, but it's funny. It's kind of on. I guess I suppressed this. I don't know why. Well, I guess I'm going to take this. I don't care. My elderberry medication to help my
cataracts,
immunity or whatever. Immunity. Wait, is that right?
Yeah.
I thought I said unity.
That's awesome.
Oh my god. So
I was going to say, while you're chewing that real quick, I just wanted to say you lived my dream, though, because I wanted to go to film school. So as much as you like hearing about circus, I love all of your full staff or Full Sail university stories and all the filming things. So
come to the lab and ask me any question you want, and I'll tell you. Like, I don't mind refreshing my memory doing that stuff either. So like, if we're sitting in the lab and you like just have questions coming to mind, like, okay, well, what would you do in this scenario, or what do you think about it? Like, please ask, because it generates for me, and but it comes to mind, of course, when I'm on a podcast to tell you, because you're never in a fucking lab. I'm working on a screenplay.
Ooh.
For fun. Me and a buddy are writing. We haven't even started writing yet. It's just, I have an idea, I have a treatment, and I'm trying to get with him so we can set it up and really work it out together. But and the reason I bring that up is like as I'm kind of writing mentally in my head, getting and preparing for things, and just like kind of getting in that writing mode again. I'm also slipping into my producing mode and saying to myself, okay, like, well, do I want to put constraints on this? And if I need constraints, like in my mind, like with every scene that I'm kind of flashing through my head that I think I would work with, I'm like, nah, soundstage, just work with soundstage, sets, all this stuff. And so like it's now like awakened a lot in me. So now is the best time in the labs to just be like, what should I do with this? And in fact, if you jump in tomorrow, just ask as many PA questions as you can. I'll get you ready.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You'll be super PA tomorrow. I loved PAing. I'm so excited for you.
Me too.
Oh my God, man. That was, listen, when you look back at everything, I'm not, I wasn't king shit of anything, like of shit maybe. But like small nugget of being around a lot of people that I really appreciate and being able to work with, so that fortunate in that way, but it's not like I was anything. So Mick Manhattan's more than anything, more than that. So like I for me, it's just the process. I don't give a fuck about, I don't want to be famous. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want prominence. I don't want an Academy Award unless like I produce something and like I put my whole heart and soul because I love this stuff and I earned it, That's why I don't believe in that shit. But so for me, getting into it, it's always just a true desire to work with movies in some way. I'm even kicking, like I talked to you, I think off of I don't know if we did this on the show or I talked to you off of it. I would love to like intern for like the National Film Registry and and just like that stuff and just like kind of take that part in and things like that, like really be a part of it. Like I even when I was in like Florida gun school, like the code was it Kodak, the films, where they would I can't think of the place, but it's they would do all the film work. They would like process all the film and stuff like that, and they did it for Full Sail. And they took us on a tour once, and like it was just very cool to be able to see that. Even though, guys, please, that was almost, it's just a few years shy of 20 years ago. I'm not gonna remember everything.
Damn.
And those were times I was homeless at that time, so leave me alone. So like all those things like that come back to me. I love all those aspects. Everything, like even working in a movie theater, working at Suncoast Video, working at the like Premiere Video, working at Hollywood Video. All that stuff has just always been so amazing and fun aspect to work on. So I read and I took it in school and I did it all. So like, please ask me now. I want to get you ready for because our buddy Paul here, I've been shining a light on me too much and I feel bad about that. Our buddy Paul here is going to be working as a PA on his first film next week.
Yes. I'm so excited.
So excited. I don't know how many details you can give and I'm not going to ask any and I don't want any, so, but I want to say it's going to be a fun experience.
Oh yeah.
Just limit your smoke breaks when you see that it's downtime and you have 5. Oh, are you doing it? You're not smoking anymore?
I do Zen. I'm trying to do Zen just during the day, then kind of break it up to where I only smoke in the morning at night. And these get me through the whole day. So nice. I did that mainly to kind of prepare for next week. So I can just plop that in, then I ain't got to worry about. Because I remember you had said, don't ever have anyone be like, hey, where's Paul on set? So I was like, let me make sure.
If they're looking for you on set, you're not doing your job.
I do not want that because I want to come back. I'm not going to lie.
because like, again, and the reason I say that, and a lot of people are just like, well, what if he's driving somewhere? Yeah, well, there's walkies. There's other things that they have available that they would try if they knew they sent you somewhere. I'm talking, no, if you're on set and you're like off smoking or talking or doing this, not saying you can't mingle, not saying it's not relaxed. It's wonderful and it's amazing, but be just vigilant is what I'm saying. Be ready to grab the flag when you need to, or switch out, or if like a grip needs a gel or something, Make sure, or C-stand, jump right in there. If they ask you for it, do it. And it's an indie film too, so I always love those. Are always the most fun because everybody's sort of just, it feels like a family while you're filming. So I'm very jealous. I'm very happy for you, and keep that up, man. And if that's stuff you want, just like you have a resource,
right?
Yeah. You know, I can't. I mean, I have some friends I can introduce to, but like, this is the beginning. This is where it starts. So like, do good here, shine, and ask around. Say, hey, where else you got films that maybe need PAs?
Right.
And you can drive to that you don't mind, going and being part of that. So seriously,
I probably absolutely will. I cried when I saw the call sheet and I saw my name under PA. I'm not gonna lie, I sat there and I was like, okay.
I still have my call sheets, my first call sheets.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. When you see your name on it, it feels good, man. It does. Oh, right up there. Oh, it's all the way up. So like I have a ball up there in that Indiana Jones chalice right there. There's a softball in there, and on it, it's signed by the entire cast. We were in college. We did a movie. I don't remember the name of it. Time ago. We and I was a unit production manager on that, and we had such wonderful sets that we built. The guys who planned it and put it together, it was just, they did so fantastic. Like, and it was very cool how the sets looked and how it was. Sorry, they're just like blipped in about a hurricane on the thing, and I'm like, okay, where's that? And it's going towards Texas, so I hope everybody's okay out there. Nobody gets injured or anything. So sorry, I trailed off there, guys. It's kind of a crazy night. I think we all know on TV there's kind of a big night coming up. So when I see Hurricane Watch, I'm like, all right, a few weeks ago that was pretty rough. Like, what we got now? So anyway. Jesus Christ. Anyway, when you're on set, I'm just gonna end it here. When you're on set, just make sure you're networking, connecting, and just talking, getting your, so they know who you are, helping out. If you're a plus to be there, almost like if you're a positive to be there, like, you are supplying everybody what they need, making things smoother, everybody will ask you back. Everybody. Or send you something. Hey, I got one for you. And just make sure that your desire to do this is voiced.
Right.
That's how you make the connections with the producer. Listen, I'd really like to get into this world. And listen, I'll work with you. And if I ever do anything, we'll talk. I told you, write your script. I told you could have brought me out of retirement. Brought me out of retirement. I asked you if I could produce that, and you didn't finish it.
I know.
Working
on my list. Yep.
All right, we wasted so much time. We didn't even get to well, all right. Kind of switched it up a little bit. Hate to break it to you. We're not going to talk about Broadway film adaptations because we might as well save it. I don't want to rush it, but I want to celebrate New York City still. So, with that being said, guys, I say we jump right on in to our 5 takeaways. New York City movies, baby, our top 5. Are you ready, Paula?
I absolutely am ready.
I am super ready too. And all right, so let's start with number 5. We'll kick it off there. I do have a parameter on mine. Do you have any parameters on yours?
Very lightly. I went kind of light with this one because I figured this is one we would be doing more than once. So I kind of just, if it was more set in New York City, was just kind of a light parameter for me as far as this one went.
That's good to know. Good to know. All right, my parameter is a little heavier.
Oh wow, I'm excited.
Not heavier in the sense of like, it just like there's more depth to it than that, I guess, and then only surely because I'm an idiot. It's really what it comes down to. So I figured for this, what I wanted to do for my parameter, and excuse me if I'm being very kind of crappy right now with you guys because I'm trying to log in and get my my notes ready for this because I was logged out everything right before the show started. So anyway, neither here nor there. Going back to my top 5, I'm just gonna make a hell of a clip. This is part of a podcast. Yeah, a hell of a clip for somebody after this. My number 5 on this, my parameter with this is it's all movies that you see. That my favorite New York City movies. It was all filmed in New York City, and they all feature the Twin Towers.
Oh wow! Oh, I like that.
So. Those are my parameters for this one. So that's why I said there's so many others because like Escape from New York's not on there. You know, like and I love that movie. It's about New York City, but I wanted in New York City, filmed in New York City. So that's kind of where I came from with that. But my number 5 is The Paper from Ron Howard directed it. Stars Michael Keaton, who's very topical to the movie we're going to be talking about later. But Michael Keaton, Marissa Tomei is in it. Robert Duvall, Glenn Close, Randy Quaid. It's like an ensemble cast. It's a brilliant little like dramedy into a sense about a New York newspaper just trying to make the news for the day and get ahead. I love it. I think it's a fantastic movie. It features, of course, the Twin Towers, as I love them and remember them. And that is why it's number 5 on my list. What is your number 5, sir?
My number 5, you know, I'm not going to say any of these, like, they're not numbered according to like what I think of them. They're just random order. My number 5 is Goodfellas.
Good one. Good one.
Yeah, that's a classic. I love it. You know, rest in peace, Ray Loretta. It's still a classic. It's always a go-to. It's a good one.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to say too much now about it, but I will say this: my number 4 on my list is Coming to America.
Nice, great choice.
It's such a great movie, and it encapsulates New York City so perfectly.
It really does.
I just love it so much. Yeah, so that's my number 4 on my list. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is the 1933 King Kong in particular.
Ooh,
I love a good black and white New York and just how they captured, you know, the essence of New York, but just old timey looking and adding King Kong. Like those scenes are some of my favorite visually.
That's a good one. That's a good one. It didn't even come up on mine. I mean, it wouldn't have fit the parameter of mine, but in a future New York City one, that could fit. All right, my number 3. And I don't like, here's the thing. I have such a basic bitch list. It's so basic. And the reason it's basic is because when I'm looking at New York City, I'm like, all right, thinking about all the movies. I'm looking through the list. I had to pull up on 3 different Google Maps movies that were filmed in New York City in the 90s, in the 80s, 90s, 70s, and these 3, because that's the decades that they were up. And I'm like combing through, and I'm like, there's so many amazing movies that I love that were based in this city, and I just truly am like, I don't know how to choose. How do I choose this? And like, I was getting really agitated thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. I picked this up, and so I had to add that parameter of in New York City, had to feature the Twin Towers and such, because I knew I was always going to kind of go with that one. And when I went with, I was like, but the other parameter was my favorites. This has to be my top favorites that fit that parameter, because there's so many I can do. And like, so these are all my true favorites based in New York City. Basically, I mean, there might be some switches, like French Connection might, you know, push the paper, you know, something like that. But, and there's plenty of others. But anyway, I drooled on about that a little bit too long. So where we're at number 3, is it?
Yes, we're number 3.
Is it me or you?
I guess it should be me.
What did I say for number? What would I say last?
4? Your number 4, I think you said, was Coming to America.
Yes, so I didn't say my 3. My number 3 is Ghostbusters.
Nice. Yes.
How do you not, man? Like, it's Ghostbusters. It's so amazing. What's yours?
My number 3 went with Rear Window, actually. I think that's a good depiction of, how the apartments are set up, how you really can look through the windows. And with only murderers in the building, I think Rear Window does a great job setting them up for a show like that, where it's just all based in that little, what do you call it, complex of apartments all facing each other. So,
You want to hear something interesting about that movie? Because it's actually funny you say that. And anybody with the clip will know now. To this week's movie, because New York City, if for my mixed movie pick is Rear Window.
yes.
And you want to hear, and I talk about it in my small little video that I do where I talk about the history of it. And a cool thing about it was, did you know the soundstage that they filmed that in, they like took out the floor and exposed the basement, because that is all a courtyard. That's what it's all the courtyard is in the soundstage, and they built it up and they gave it depth and they added that street. And when they would drive the cars by, because he wanted the realism of it in that alleyway, people were like getting sick because of all the exhaust.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So I guess they had to concoct a plan, and I believe they pushed them across because it's such a small slither, like a bunch of PAs. Good luck. Push the car off, and the other side like they would break. So it was very interesting. There's a lot of stuff to read about that movie if you haven't had a chance in the filming of it. Hitchcock went all out. All those apartments were workable apartments that each of the actors stayed in during the day. They didn't have trailers and all that stuff. So that's where they were. They were in those apartments where they could work and chill or read or whatever. Yeah, it's a very fascinating movie and how they made it. So I'm so glad you said that. So those are our number 3s. Great choice. Number 2 on my list is Goodfellas.
Good choice.
That's why I didn't want to say anything earlier. I love that movie. That movie to me is nostalgia. Listen, the diner they're in Jersey, know it, everywhere they're at, I've just been in, I know people from those areas. I've been in those areas. I've know families from those areas. It's so, it reminds me so much of home that every time I watch that movie and I hear that they're listening to the heist on the radio and it's 1010 news, which is actually kind of funny because the paper has 1010 news in it too. And I'd venture to guess that maybe except for my number 1. Except for my number 1. I would venture to guess that all of them have the 1010 news. And this is 1010 news. This is the news from around the world. It's you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if anyone from New York City or even Jersey City or something that area, Hoboken, they know exactly what I'm talking about, and it just reminds me of that, and I love it. So
that's awesome.
But that's why Goodfellas is just one that sparks that nostalgia to me.
Good to know. I like that.
What's your
number 2 actually is American Psycho.
Oh, good one.
I kind of wanted to go a little different. I've been kind of in that kind of mood with so it's kind of worked out.
That's a good choice, man. That was a really good choice. All right, what my number 1 is, I said it, Do the Right Thing. So honestly, that's my number 1 New York City movie of all time. So it would, of course it was going to be on this list. It's, God damn, I've watched that movie 4 times this year for the anniversary.
Okay.
And just because it's played on different channels that Turner Classic played it twice. Oh no. I watched it once on my own because I watch it every summer, usually at the beginning. Actually close to around Juneteenth. So I'll watch Do the Right Thing because I think it's just a great summer movie too. And then I watched it on Turner Classic Movies twice since then this summer. and they played it at the Alamo here, and I went and saw it.
Heck yeah.
Because I had never seen it on a big screen, so I want to see it. So, and it did it for the anniversary, so I was very excited for that. Yeah, so like that's it's my favorite. But I'm drolling on again. What's your number?
Yeah, you're absolutely good. So mine, I'm gonna put some context with it, you guys. So it's kind of a little bit in honor, of 9/11, with it coming up as well. I will say when 9/11 happened, I was a young kid. I didn't quite understand the depth of everything that was happening, the losses everyone entailed. When this movie came out with the actors portraying an age closer to my personal age, it really made it seem more real to me. I'm not saying I didn't care before or anything like that. This one just connected me a lot more to it. And that's going to be the movie Remember Me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's I get it. That fucking movie.
I know.
No, no, it's a good choice. I'm just messing with you. Listen, that's our top 5 New York City movies, some with parameters. But we want to say to celebrate New York City. Of course, we love the city. McMahon. Yeah. So like, thanks for watching this. If you're watching as a clip, but yeah. I want to say something before we move on to our reviews, and that's thank you to our sponsor, StubHub. Appreciate you. Gonna go get more tickets from you. I think I want to start going to concerts more, honestly.
If they were cheaper, I would.
I don't want to go to. I'm not talking about that. All right. I don't want to go see Blink 182 for $4,000. I didn't want to see Blink 182 in the Height for $4,000. And how dare they? How dare they? God, it's so exploitative because based on the age. Like, God, and I'm not just blaming them, but like all of them. Like, man, you know who's coming to see you now, and they're the diehards. You're not getting teenagers rolling out and looking for you. You're going for the diehards, and you're gouging us. And it pisses me off because what you're doing is you're first of all, you're selling out to the very thing you guys used to claim. When Green Day did it, man, I just wanted to smack my head. I was like, yep, American idiot. Here we go. Like, you are everything now that you were arguing about then. Jesus.
You ain't wrong about that.
Needed a drink it for that one. Got me on a rant with this one. And I didn't, oh my God. Sorry. So anyway, go check out stuff. We also got Sticker Mule and a bunch of other stuff down there. We are so bad at this. I'm never going to make any money. Please join the Patreon. Pretty please. I didn't even set us up. Oh, I'm an idiot. Let's move on. Oh my God. Let's move on. Rebel Ridge. We're going to review this. I'm actually excited to review it. God damn it. I set it up for the other view.
Oh, I love today so much.
I don't know what's going on, but today is definitely hitting me like a shovel to the face. Anyway, let's talk about Rebel. These clips are going to be insane. Hey, embrace absurdity. I don't even care at this point. All right, Rebel Ridge. So this movie, starring Aaron Pierre, who is like a last-minute fill-in for John Boyega, who dropped out during filming. Like, they started filming, and then they brought in Aaron Pierre. And I got to tell you, I'm glad they did. And I'll get to that in a second. But Don Johnson is the antagonist. He's the police chief of the small town, and he and the police force are, like, screwed over this guy's nephew, locked him up, and they're trying to screw him over, take his money with civil forfeitures, and just craziness. And the whole movie plays out sort of like a Rambo-esque type of movie, but never going to the extent or the extreme of Rambo. And we're going to probably go pretty spoilerly into this. We kind of really liked it. I actually, out of this week, I think this is my more favorite movie. I will watch this again. I really liked it. But before we go, let me throw up the spoilers. Paul, what did you think about this movie, man?
So it's kind of rare for me, but I wish this had gone to theater. So instead of being reversed, being like, oh, I wish I had just gone straight to stream instead of being in theater. I would have loved to see this on big screen. The action was great. The acting was superb. Like I didn't until I had researched it for this. I didn't know he was a stand-in for him for
Mhm.
Bodega.
For
And
John
so
Boyega, yeah.
I thought he did a superior, like a great job. His scenes, his intensity, his reactions, I really enjoyed. I think this is probably one of Netflix's top movies that they've released in a while.
Yeah. And it's crazy to me is first off, this director, Jeremy Saulnier, he's directed Hold the Dark, which is the Jeffrey Wright where he goes into the woods and he's looking for they think the wolves are killing the people, and it might be a serial killer. So like I don't want to give anything away for that. He directed Green Room, Antoine Yelchin's one of his last movies, which is a great little horror movie. He directed a movie called Blue Ruin. Yeah, I thought that was such a well done one. Blue Ruin, which I did not see, and then he directed one, like it was one of his first ones, but I think it was like one he was really famous for, but I can't think of it at the moment. Murder Party, which is a fantastic movie. It's a fantastic horror comedy. And it's funny when I saw that and I saw that he had directed this movie, I was like, I know that name. So I went back and looked at it. And I saw Murder Party the other day, and I'm like, I was like, this makes sense. Like, because even then, what he did with that movie showed so much promise and then putting together all the other movies that he had done and realizing it was him. I was like, this dude is on to something. I don't think he's had a miss yet. I'm not saying they're all great movies. Like Hold the Dark is kind of a tough movie. It's a slow burn. I don't think I'd ever watch it again, but it's good. It is a good movie though. Like, I mean, I could say that like I'll probably never watch Lawrence of Arabia again. It's a great movie, like
Right.
so, like
Absolutely.
there's stuff like I put to bed. I'm like this was a good time, a good one time. I'm glad I watched it, but I'm not gonna watch it again. And that was one of those movies. Green Room's the same. Green Room was a tough movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild, man. That was a tough one. And I don't know that I'd watch that again. Not because it just doesn't it's a dark movie, so it doesn't have that rewatchability. So and now everybody's asking, like, why are you talking about all of his other movies and not the one that you want to review? We're getting to it. I can see it through, except for Blue Ruin, which I haven't seen, all those other movies, I can see all those styles, all of those stories kind of melded into how he made this one.
Right.
It was so well done. When it was lighthearted, it was lighthearted. I think the biggest sin of this movie is it's too long because of coverage shots.
Okay.
Not even because of the acting. Every time the actors are on, I'm cool with it. The worst, I don't want to say worst, it's kind of messed up, but like I guess the actor that struggled the most in this movie for me, in the main category, I'm not talking about everybody, but in the main, like who we're really seeing a lot of dialogue come from was maybe Summer, the woman who plays Summer. But she was very good. Like I liked her in it. Like she wasn't a problem. Like like maybe bad acting can take you out of it. She wasn't bad acting. She was just like not the same caliber as everyone else she's dealing with, like especially like Don Johnson, who's been in forever. But Aaron Pierre, who I have no idea who he is. I think this is the first movie I've ever seen him in, and now I'm a fan.
Yep.
He's got a lookout. He's got a movie star quality to him. He was so good in this. Like he led this, he carried it perfectly. I had such a good time with this movie. I liked that even when it came to the police side of it, they were doing bad shit.
Right.
They were a corrupt force, but not everyone was corrupt. Not everyone knew what was going on. So it was a cool breakup of that. Yeah. And it wasn't heavy-handed. It was like oh my God, this is happening. This is what's going on. Like we knew we were allowing the limits to be pushed, but this is too much. And I do like how they kind of played that off, and they gave you that little twist too of how it played out. But I'm talking a lot about this. I'm talking a lot about stuff like getting deep with it with me. What about this movie really resonated with you?
I think it's just because I've been kind of trying to get more of the technical side of things, just with getting ready for next week. So honestly, I was watching the coloring, how the scenes were done, trying to figure out what filters were used, like seeing the staging, like where are the actors, where's the camera in comparison to them? Why am I lower? Why am I higher? So for me, I liked every angle and shot because it felt like it meant something. And I know it does to directors, but I feel like a lot of times it's missed. And I feel like in this one, besides, like you said, I will say a lot of the landscape. Anyway, it felt like he really put thought into this and that he wanted everything to be genuine. And you could tell it was his style because it did remind me of Green Room. When you're in the rooms, for me, for whatever reason, I just feel like the rooms are smaller than they actually are. So it might appear as a big room, but just the coloring and everything, it just makes it feel intense and kind of almost claustrophobic to me. So I appreciate that he just brings intensity, even just to how the set is set up.
He does love his greens. I'll tell you that. His greens and his blues. He definitely like I said, like I saw a lot meld from all those other movies into this. And yeah, just like even the night shots, everything, like because even the coverage shots I'm talking about that went on too long, that to just put this like way too long. It's like 2 hours and like 20 minutes or 2 hours, 10 minutes, I think. And it could have been cut down to probably about 155.
Yeah.
And it could have been cut down to 155 and still been a phenomenal freaking movie. Like I'm really happy with the past 2 weeks and what Netflix has put out. I like The Deliverance and I like this movie. I know how you felt about The Deliverance. So I'm not going to push you on it, but I did. I really have enjoyed these last 2 weeks because I'm seeing like signs of not just horror, but now this is like a new sort of action. Like I love that his character didn't want to kill. I love that he tried to get out of this.
Yeah.
Over and over. He was like, can we do this? Can we do that? And he tried to live up to it. And they kept screwing it up. And like, oh God, when he calls him on the phone, he's like, I was thinking, I was like, maybe we can work something out, get away from all this. And he's like, now you're talking. He's like, nah. And it just hangs up. I will say that towards the end there, it got a little fantastical. Like when he was completely surrounded.
Yeah.
I can still see it playing out and logically because, like you said, they're not going to just straight up shoot him and kill him because not every one of the cops is in on this. Right. All they know is this guy who's been in town that everybody's been like trying to arrest and get to just like shot our chief.
Right.
So they're just trying to act on command. But when it takes that turn to shooting Serpico, I'll say, and that realization kicks in, I love the reaction of it because you're thinking like this is going to go into a Rambo type of state because he's like Mega Marine, all this stuff, and it isn't. The whole thing is just him tactically using takedown. It's not this in your face. This is a new world of action, and I'm enjoying it.
Yes. Yep.
It's not even, they're not stoic. You saw like I like The Fall Guy. I liked Roadhouse. I like, all these movies have been coming out this year. This is another one that was like, this isn't more of the fun guy summer type of movie, but this is one that was like, he showed emotion. He was upset. He was mad about his cousin. He was mad about what was going on, but like, he was trying to remain that way. And like, but he had so much emotion when he was allowed to release it. And I love that about it. And Don Johnson, God, great villain.
Yeah. Too good.
Oh my God. Great. And so charismatic too. And why I say great, because it's not just that he's a bad guy. It's that you like him. Almost to a point. Like if you met him and under any other circumstances didn't see this stuff, you want to hang out with him. He's like a really, it seems like he gets along with him well, even when he's getting along with our main character here. You like him a little bit. You're like, well, maybe you guys can work this out. Yeah, he was so good in this, so charismatic. I wouldn't mind seeing him as more villains similar, maybe not this role. It doesn't have to be like a chief of police or anything, but like more sinister type.
Yeah,
I think he could really do well. So, all right, let's give our ratings for this one. We talked about it for a while. I gave it a 3.5, and you gave it a 3. So, is that was your feelings on the whole thing?
Yeah, that's where I stand. You know, a lot of times you guys know I love horror more than anything else. As far as action, that's a solid rating from me. Like, I can't think of an action movie that I'm like, oh, this is an 8 or a 9. I just haven't felt that quite yet. So I think a 6 is very fair. I absolutely would recommend people watch this.
All right, sweet. I like it. All right. So, and I'm not much more, 3.5. So, all right, let's go on to our next one. That's right. Beetlejuice. Let's get into it. So I know you're super excited about this. How many times have you seen this?
No. 2 times in theater, 3 times at home.
All right. I don't know how you did that, but I love you.
I closed my eyes and just thought of the whole movie start to finish a couple times.
Yep. Yes, I did. I went and saw this in the theater myself, and I have to say I was not as into it overall as I think I was hoping I would be. I did like it. I'll just give my rating now, so that way we just get it out of the way. I gave it a 3. You gave it a 3.5. We kind of reversed on this one.
We sure did.
It was just, to me, too convoluted with storylines.
Yeah. You
introduced a lot of things that, like, honestly, I kind of wish they planned 2 more movies. And my biggest issue with that would have been like, and focus on Dolores in the 3rd one.
Yeah.
Maybe she gets out in this one in the beginning. That's fine. Sucks a few souls trying to find him. And like, but this movie centers on him helping Lydia get Astrid back. But then you could have just focused more on that whole storyline. I loved the Astrid serial killer boy ghost storyline that's trying to drag her to hell so he can come back to life and kill again. I loved it all. Like, I was like, this is fun, man. This is cool. Like, I wish they would stick with this. All the other stuff took me out of it. And it was like they were beating a dead horse with a lot of the jokes.
Yeah.
The Willem Dafoe joke, dude. I like Willem Dafoe. I didn't need him coming out doing the same thing over and over again with the girl giving him the coffee.
Gotta keep it real. Keeping it real.
Oh my god, dude. I was so over it. I was so over it. I will watch this again. I would, because it's fun. I just dogged it a little bit about its story, but the sets are fun. The acting's fun. Michael Keaton doesn't miss a beat in it. Nobody does in it. And Catherine O'Hara's the shining light in this. She was so good in this movie. She was the best. It was like an extension of Moira shit. Like, she's just perfect. You put her in a movie, she is my modern day Madeline Kahn. Like, Madeline Kahn to me is like, in movie comedians, she was the pinnacle. Like, just true comedian who just can make you laugh. And like, I'm not saying there weren't others that are up there that like but like, to me, Madeline Kahn was just the pinnacle in that movie starlet comedian world. But Catherine O'Hara is up there.
Oh yeah.
And I love Winona Ryder. Jenna Ortega was great. I thought she did a really great job in this. Played off her mother really good. I don't know that I needed the dad storyline.
Yeah.
it just dragged it out a little bit. Like, I would have been fine with the dad storyline if you dropped the Dolores storyline, or you dropped the Bobs first of all.
Yeah.
I didn't need minions. Like, a lot of this felt like they were trying, like Spirit Halloween was like, we need some things. We need to fill some spots. So like, it was tough for me. I did like Justin Theroux's character as sort of that other guy who is basically Beetlejuice but alive. Even dresses like in black and white and does it like they really like ham-fisted that one a little bit. But like, I like the character. I like that, you know, she couldn't decide whether she wanted to marry him, just like she couldn't. And then, but even that got weird. And that there's one thing that I really didn't like about this, and I honestly, thinking about it makes me want to deduct another half point, but I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Is that lip syncing song thing they did at the wedding at the end? Yeah, it went on. They did the whole song,
the whole fucking song,
and it did. But the thing is, it wasn't funny in the beginning. So if it's not funny in the beginning, and it's just not funny all the way through the song, I just sat through 3 minutes of lip sync, not even singing, not even original song, of like these actors sort of lip syncing. It's not great. Sort of lip syncing to this. Like, this one bugged me a little bit. Again, I'll watch it because I'm a cuck for Michael Keaton, anything, but you know, and I'm glad he was back as the Juice, the other Juice, the Ecto Cooler Juice. Anyway, yeah, that's my review of Beetlejuice. What about you?
Okay, so I watched it multiple times because I have a lot of friends that are about the same age demographic as me, and it was like almost an even split. They loved it, they hated it. So I watched it with loving eyes the first 2 times, and then other times I tried to critique it, try to go harder and figure out, you know, why did we like it? Why did you not like it? Like, do I agree with you? And that song being one of the things that I honestly understand why you don't like it, because you know it was gimmicky. It wasn't that fun. It wasn't a fun song. It's not a song everybody knows. I know it, but I don't think anyone else I've talked to has been like, oh, I know that song. No one. I think it was an excuse to get Jenna Ortega to do half a little dance like she did in Wednesday, just to appease that demographic. Because even when we walked into the theater, someone was like, oh, I can't wait to see Wednesday on screen. And I was like, all right, well, okay, here we go. And then they were like, yeah, and the mom from Stranger Things. So I understand, you know, this movie was made for a younger generation to enjoy.
Yeah, my son loved it.
Yeah. But it definitely, to me, I do understand where a lot of people didn't enjoy it, because I don't think this was made for the nostalgia or the fans necessarily of the first one. This is a rebranding almost of Beetlejuice with the original cast and things. And they do pay good homage, and Michael Keaton's great. But you can tell the climate is completely different. Michael Keaton was so inappropriate as Beetlejuice in the first one. You know, he was very sexist. He was over the top. He was saying really messed up things and going overboard. This one, he was pretty tame. Like, he was behaving. He was trying to help. And I understand that's how the world works. But to the nostalgia effect and to a lot of my demographic and older, I would say if you love the first Beetlejuice, you're probably going to find a lot of problems with this. There were too many storylines, unfortunately.
Here's the thing.
Didn't need all.
I'm going to admit this right now, and everybody's going to hate me. I don't particularly hold high regard for the first Beetlejuice.
Okay.
I don't dislike it. I don't love it. I'll watch it around Halloween time, especially because my kids love it. But I don't particularly care.
Right.
You know, like if I never watched it again, I'd probably be okay. I don't miss it. It's not one I go to in horror or horror comedy. And that's not me putting it down. So like, I see what you're saying. Like, that's why I think I was hoping for more from this. A more cohesive story. Like,
yeah,
the Soul Train.
That was too much. It was again and then again. And like you said, I mean, it's just like any comedian, because we all know how comedians are. If your joke's not hitting, you stop. You go to the next one. And then this fact that like nobody was really interacting with that scene the first time, and then we come back to the train, then Soul Train again. Boop, get the fuck out of here with that.
I know. It was too much, man.
But yeah, as you said, Catherine, her performance was great. She was probably almost the highlight of the movie more than anything else. I didn't like how they didn't really show Dolores. Dolores. That whole thing, I was like, kind of like you said, I was like, why are you just going to introduce her just to have her kind of show up, a little bit of backstory, like barely backstory, sucks a couple souls, and then she's just easily taken out. I was like, this is kind of
that's his girlfriend or his wife.
Yeah, it was just like oh,
So
he made space.
I swear to God, if they did this,
It's Sherry Moon.
She was looking very Morticia Adams. And I like Catherine Zeta-Jones on Wednesday. So knock it off. Tim Burton. I don't know. This was just, and like he made her over sexual. Like it's your girlfriend, man. Stop Rob Zombieing this. Like you used to be a really good filmmaker. And you've been tanking it for a while. Let's be real. Tim Burton his style is amazing, but like, let's be real. What have you seen in a while that blows you away? Like nothing really. Yeah. So I don't know. Like this for me, it just didn't hit. And it bums me out because Big Fish is one of my favorite movies of all time. And like Big Fish backwards, I would say he's a brilliant filmmaker. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened. Maybe somebody sucked his soul out. I don't know. Yeah. I
think he might have just gotten complacent. Just I'm Tim Burton, it happens. I'm not saying he is, I don't know him, but it just seems like he just kind of just rode his own coattails at a certain point and didn't give us the visuals and everything we loved.
I don't know. It's annoying. Anyway, let's get to that's our ratings of Beetlejuice. Thanks for watching this clip. And then all right. So my pick we already talked about it, but this pick from mixed movie pick from 1954, which we will have out a classic film review with a lot of history on the movie. And not a lot. We have like 2 minutes and 20 seconds of history on the movie and my review. And a call to action, a like, subscribe. So really a minute and a half. So anyway, here we go. Rear Window. Fantastic movie. I'm going to let Paul talk about it again. Paul, why should everybody watch Rear Window?
Because I think it's probably one of Hitchcock's top 3 best movies he's ever made that no one talks about. Until I had met you, I had never watched this. You introduced me to this, our first Fear Fest, because we were talking about Hitchcock and you had brought this up. Because I had talked about how I had watched Lifeboat and his others, and you're like, you haven't watched Rear Window? I didn't know about it.
I love
it's a good one, you guys. And for a lot of people, I'd say closer to my age, this is the original Disturbia, and it's a masterpiece, you guys. It's so much intensity. The suspense just eats it away. The cat and mouse is just, it's almost unbearable. Like you're getting on the edge of your seat just at home. You're like, oh shit, they're gonna get caught. They're not gonna get caught. Things like that. I think it holds up over time. I think if you're a fan of something like Disturbia or a good cat and mouse, this is one you absolutely need to watch. I think you're doing yourself dishonor if you're not watching it just because it's older, or you might be like, oh well, Hitchcock just has horror. This one is definitely an intense. It's a thriller, you guys. It's not a horror. So even if you're not a horror fan, this is absolutely one I think you won't walk away disappointed with.
Well, then I have 2 more mixed movie picks for you that I'd like you to watch and come back to me with. And I'm going to have more movies for you, especially as we talk about filmmaking going forward, because there's things I'm going to want you to look out for. And the 2 movies, Hitchcock-wise, if you haven't seen them, are North by Northwest.
Yes.
Have you seen that one?
Yes.
All right. Have you seen Vertigo?
Yes.
All right. Have you seen Rope? My actual
only once.
My second choice was Rope.
It's been a while with Rope.
Favorite Hitchcock film, and they're going to be remaking it.
Okay, so yeah, I will need to rewatch that. I'll do that this weekend.
And that's filmed all in one take, but of course, film runs out. He has to. You see him zoom into certain things, but it's really one take. Like it was all acted out. So, like really no cuts. There are some though. There are some. I just want everybody. There are some cuts. I'm not going to play up the legend. Yeah, but if you guys haven't had a chance to check them out, go check out Rear Window tomorrow. The Snobs Film History Classic Film Review will be out. We appreciate you for that. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you being a part of it. Thank you to StubHub, who I know we botched it earlier, but like StubHub, we love you. We appreciate you supporting us and being here for us. So go check out StubHub, get you tickets from there. Tell them we sent you by using the link down below. Also, guys, right now, not right now, starting 10 days in the 20th, we're going to be doing a giveaway of these two fantastically beautiful items. The Beetlejuice popcorn bucket. I did a full review. You can go check it out, but it's like a tin. I wouldn't really, you could use it for keepsakes, stuff like that. There's pictures of it up too, guys. For anybody's listening, you can go check it out on our social media. And of course, we have a Beetlejuice cup, has a topper on it, the whole nine. Two lucky Patreon winners are going to win each of those. One will win the cup, one will win the tin. I want to make sure I say this right. So why not just say it all? So we will be doing that starting on the 20th. That will run from the 20th all the way through the 31st. We'll announce the winners on Halloween. All right, we'll spin the wheel. And that will be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good time. So make sure you're there for that. But the only way to be eligible to be on the wheel to be chosen is to be following us on Patreon, either for free, paid tier. It doesn't matter. Nothing gets you more or less. You can just follow us for free. We've done a giveaway before. We did the popcorn bucket and the Wolverine cup. Now we're doing the Beetlejuice. I also put up in the future, we're going to be doing the Bat Signal popcorn bucket, which is pretty rad. But the only way to be eligible is to follow us over there. So make sure if you're following us, great, for free, or if you're do it paid, it helps support the channel, and we appreciate you. And we truly appreciate all of our Patreon supporters and everything they do. And we do special giveaways for them as well, for the paid ones sometimes too. So there are perks that add up over there. So anyway, if you guys would like to be a part of it, head over to our Patreon, follow us over there, and you will be eligible on October 31st when we choose the winners. Brian says he'll take it. But also I want to say just thank you to everybody. Paul, is there anything you want to say before we get going, bud?
Hey, you guys, Friday 13th is coming up, so get ready for all bets to be off and everything to be backwards. I was actually born on Friday 13th, on September 13th, so this is going to be a birthday that I'm going to celebrate extra hard on. You guys be safe, have fun, do something spooky, go get a tattoo. I don't know, get a flash sale, do something a little spontaneous. But past that, I'd say, keep watching, keep listening, keep loving the magic movies, and keep sending us recommendations. I love when I get messages about you should check out this, that, or the other. There's a lot of movies I have seen, but there's a lot I have not. And I love hearing what you guys do love and checking them out. So keep them coming, you guys.
And if you guys do join up on the Patreon, free or paid, you get into our Discord, so you can talk to us there, give us recommendations there. If you want to see us do something for Does It Suck or review something on here, please let us know. We'd love to check it out. And just really appreciate you. But thank you, Paul. Appreciate you saying that. Thank you all watching, listening out there. We truly appreciate you. But until next time, I would like you to like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell, and come back to join us on the Scene Snobs. We love movies, and we know you do too. So join the Scene Snobs. Remember, everybody, be kind, stay classy, and take care of yourselves, because that's important. And until next time,